Good evening, everybody. This is our third video now in a series of what the hell happened. This is my top three of the ones that make me smile because I just can't believe what happened. In third place is when your diesel pipe from your diesel tank runs to your fire, or in our case our diesel heater, and this has to have a tap on it so you can maintain the fire or the heater. Now, I'm going to show you this one now. I have actually done a video, but I'm going to cut that bit out and put this one in. So if you can come with me down here, I'll show you what I mean. As you can see, I don't know if you can see this little cupboard down here. This basically is where our diesel pipe goes. It travels along from the back of the boat to here. It has that little clip-off lid. I'll just put that to one side. And as you can see in there, they have a valve, the safety valve, and then you have the stopcock, if you like. Now, I was pulled to one side by one of the staff, and he says, unfortunately, because of this cupboard is quite small and restricting. So this valve down here won't open all the way out here because of the gap there. So we're going to have to cut the valve down so that you can use it. Is that okay? So I thought, okay, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He's built boats before. And if I can just get my hand in there. Joe, can you just move that way a little? I can get my hand in there. I mean, you know, at the moment I can't bleed and turn the damn thing off anyway. But crying out loud. Right, so put me on that toilet. Right, okay, got it now. So you can see that there, this valve, can you see how it's been cut off here? Because obviously it won't close properly because that's in the way there. And I thought, okay, he knows what he's talking about. He builds boats. Must be a thing. Leave it at that. And it wasn't until he'd gone and I thought, well, hang on a minute. Why doesn't he just loosen that nut and loosen that nut and then just spin this whole valve 90 degrees this way, so that this handle here that I'm pointing at is here and pointing across there, and then all you got to do is lift it up, and you don't have to cut the handle down. Answers on a postcard, please. So that's my number three of what the hell, or WTF. It's probably more accurate. Bear in mind, this is the person that's built the boat. This is the person that's built lots of boats. Number two. Walk this way. This is our gas locker. Now, anybody who has had a motorhome or a caravan will probably have had an external barbecue point fitted. Now, we had one on our motorhome. And I thought, yeah, excellent. We had a Kayak 2. And with the end on the Kayak 2, this is the end of the Kayak 2, or was. With that, you just push it in, turn it, and that's it. You're connected to the gas, and then you can run your barbecue. So I thought, let's have a good idea. I know a good idea. Let's have one of them fitted to here. The outside of here, the gas tanks, no problem at all. Great. I just put my barbecue in, and away we go in our barbecues, gas barbecues. So anyway, I then sent off, can't remember, it was a text message or an email, I had it somewhere, asking, can I have a gas barbecue, an external barbecue point fitted to the gas bottle lockers, please? Yeah, but we need to buy a whole cut and saw for that, so there's going to be an extra charge. But it can't be done yet, no problem at all. I says, no problem at all, I'm quite happy to pay for it. Just send me a quote, and then I can yay or nay it. Never heard anything back. Assumed I didn't get it. So anyway, we're now on the water. We've just launched. Got two brand new 13 kilogram bottles. We are in Whitchurch. No, we're not. We're in Ellesmere. 6 weeks passed and we're out of gas. I thought 13 kilograms in 6 weeks. We only use it for cooking. It's all it's used for. I thought, that's a bit much. obviously put something out on Facebook. Yeah, it should at least last you 2 months, etc., 3 months, etc. Varying numbers. I thought, okay, so I thought I'd have a look at it. So I came down into the gas bottle. Gas bottle area, I'll take that off you. And that's the entrance. Let me just get this right. Down there in the bottom. Can you hold the torch? Just hold it there, see if it's down there. See if it illuminates that bit down there. No, it needs to be further down. That's it there, yeah. Okay. This point here, you can see where that's going into there. This gas barbecue point, or external barbecue point that I wanted, he put it down there. So our gas going from our bottles into our boat was attached with an external barbecue point, and this is how it was. This pipe here had one of them on the end, and then the external gas barbecue point was there. That's how we were getting our gas into the boat. So, I mean, these can leak. They're not very secure. So anyway, I just couldn't believe it. So I got in touch and he says, well, you wanted a gas barbecue point. And I said, yes, I do, an external gas barbecue point that I can run a barbecue from. How could I run a barbecue from that? If I plug my barbecue into the external gas barbecue, I'd have to unplug my gas. And that's what you're dealing with. Well, that's what I was dealing with. And I just, honestly, I was just so frustrated. I thought, how stupid can one person be? Bear in mind, this is somebody who's quite senior up in this business or in this company. And by that point then, I'd pretty much given up all hope. So they eventually, I said, well, you can change that. So they took out the gas barbecue point and connected what you see now. I don't have the gas barbecue point any longer. As it happens, I went out and bought one that does ordinary bottle barbecuing. So, but that's what I was dealing with. And once I realised that, I thought, yeah, I'm never going to win this. And I just sheer frustration. It's highly freaking depressing. Well, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed number 2. This is number 1. This one was extremely frustrating as well. I'm sure you can appreciate. As some of you may know, I like to take. I'm into photography, and I like to take edit photos and put them up in that. And sometimes, if I'm lucky, sell them. But I knew editing the photos was going to be a problem because obviously getting the computer out, putting the computer away and all that, it becomes a right chew on it and it becomes a deterrent in the end. So I thought, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll design a desk that I can use instantly if I want to edit my photos on the computer. So I did. When we went to the entry, we said, can you build this? And they said yes. And that's one of the main reasons we went with them. So anyway, what happened next? I designed it, drew it, sent it to them. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, we can do that. We'll thank Jason. Well, I don't know if Jason did do it in the end, but we'll get Jason on it. So anyway, long story short, the boat's launched. That desk ain't done. We're going to start it next week. We've just put this temporary one there for you, which was just a bit of MDF or plywood with a veneer on it, and obviously the edge and veneer was stuck down with sellotape, or we stuck it down with sellotape because it was coming off. And we had that, and we hummed and we hawed, and we is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? As you would do. Yeah, oh yeah, we're just in the process of doing this, and such and such is on leave, or this has happened to such and such a body. And it was just excuse after excuse after excuse. And at one point I did get really angry and, explain that I would like to exert violence on somebody in one quick, short, sharp thrust, which didn't go down very well. But anyway, as it happened, we put another complaint in. And I think Jamie must have got a hold of that complaint and obviously just said, look, make it. So they made it. And they brought it out. And now, to be fair, the design works. But this is me number 1 because this is what it looks like. Now, you can have a look at it now yourself. It's fine. It all works fine. This basically just comes straight up, switch it on, boom, you've got a what's its name. Hinges, these are supposed to be gas struts, 2 gas struts there to keep it in place. The hinges are supposed to be the type that you have in a cupboard for your kitchen. You know, they're supposed to be fitted here, and then they would offer a little bit of support to keep the desktop up, because the desktop is obviously heavy. That didn't work, so I've had to improvise a little bit and create this thing here, but you know, that's that. However, when we go from that, we put this down. I mean, it still works. It's just, and then bear in mind, I must stress, this was all supposed to be discreet. It was supposed to be a table that just so happens to be a desk, or doubles up as a desk. So, without further ado, so, you know, like I say, discreet. The hinges are here, so obviously says that this lifts up. There's no means of lifting it up because there's no handle on here or anything to help. A little groove in there wouldn't have hurt. And as you can see by the finish itself, it's now this has happened. We're now January the 5th. This little piece that's here, that came off a couple of weeks ago. This bit down here, that was the day it arrived. This line coming down here and that line coming down there, that was the day it arrived. So much so, there was a painter out here, and he got filler and he tried to fill it in. He did the best he could to make this look, I don't know, like something, or just not as bad as it did look. Don't get me wrong, this looks worse than it did when we got it, but as you can see, it hasn't lasted very well at all. This is coming off. This is pretty much day 2 was like that. I have got some video that I took and I sent to Aintree complaining about the standard of the finish. I heard nothing back except from Dave. He said, "Can you give me the dimensions again? We'll make a new top." I have absolutely no idea how they would manage that, because, well, they haven't got the table to attach it to, for one. But I think it was more of one of those placation things, you know. It was placated. We'll tell them we'll make another one. And anyway, I don't know what you think of this, if I may. But this is where the veneer has all just cracked and broken, and you can hear that. It's just god awful, really. Got that there. This here. It's just, you know. It's, I just can't explain. That's as rough as a badger's, that is. And this bit here, look, that was all day 1. That was all filled in by the painter trying to turn a sow's ear into a purse. So yes, this is my number 1. Hi Jamie, I'm sending you this because I'm getting no replies to my messages. This is the veneer for the top of the desk. The desk itself is brilliant in as much as it does exactly what I wanted it to do, but I don't know that you're aware of this. In fact, I don't honestly think you are, but that's it. And I think it's an absolute disgrace. I'm not getting any answers to my emails, so I'd be appreciative if you was to give me a ring. I am. It's great, isn't it? Anyway, I've drained down on you enough, and I apologise for that. But thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for watching the videos. Please put anything in the comments. All comments will be answered, good or bad. They'll all be answered. And we enjoy your comments as well, because some of them make us laugh. In fact, is it the first video? They said it's taken, as you can see, it's taken its toll. So I was looking a bit haggard. But anyway. But the nice thing is, there's a lady and a gentleman called Kev, and is it Leona or Ilona? It's an unusual name anyway, and I apologise for getting it wrong. But when we first put this video on Facebook or Instagram, they got in touch and says, Kev, he's got his own shed with tools and all that. You're more than welcome to use it, which is where we were going before Christmas, but until it closes, which is where we're going now. We're heading up that way, and we're going to pop in and see them, and hopefully take make use of their wonderful gesture. He's even managed to source me some oak. I mean, I'll pay for it, obviously, but he's managed to source me some oak, and we're going to make a brand new tabletop, and we'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. See you.
Okay.